Oh, it's my head on just about. Yeah, so starting in standing, hip distance, we're going to come down into our little goblin squat. So as you come down, lift the heels up, right? So we come down, the heels are going to lift. Knees are staying relatively nice and wide. I'm going to bring one hand down between the feet or just in front and lift the other arm up to the ceiling. So just taking that into a little bit of rotation. And see how one side feels, and then plonk the hand down and we'll go the other side, rotating round. Stiff this morning on my part, and then we're going to walk out into a plank. So walk all the way out into a plank, dodging the cat. And once you're here, take it into that long lunge. So it's essentially your front step. So you're going to bring the right foot next to the right hand, or slightly forward, vertical shin, and circling the hips from there. So just like we were doing yesterday, just a gentle circling of the hips in one direction and then the other. And then taking that right arm up towards the ceiling again, rotate, taking the chest round as much as possible, and then dropping that right elbow towards the floor. If it gets there, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. And then release. I'm going to step back with the right foot to plank, step forward with the left foot. Same thing, little circles with the hips or big circles, depending on what you're up to this morning or where you feel you need it. Reverse the circle. And then rotate, so left arm up towards the sky, twisting the chest around. Left arm to the floor, or left elbow to the floor. And release, step back to plank. I'm just going to organize that. Now my cat's disappeared, I can organize myself on my mat. And then we're going to lower the chest to the floor. So take the chest to the floor, release the legs, hip distance apart with the legs, arms out overhead, shoulder distance apart. So a 4-point lift, Superwoman. Reach the arms, reach the legs, allow them to lift. It's not about height, it's about reach. So get as long as you can. You should still be able to breathe, neck free, nice and tight in the legs. So I'm pointing the toes, my calves are on, my quads are on, my kneecaps are lifted. And then release everything back down. I'm going to roll over into our shin box. So whichever direction you want to go, I'm going to go left over right. So left leg's going to come over the right, hands under shoulders, left leg over right. Push the floor away to come up into your shin box, leaving one hand on the floor, and it's the hand of the front leg. So if you're, in my case, my right knee is my front knee, it's my right hand that's on the floor, so I can lift the hips up and reach over with the opposite hand. You lower the hips back down, the hand that's free comes back over to the mat so you can roll back through your belly and then over to the other side. So now it's my right over left. Coming up into my shin box, my left hand becomes my standing hand and I reach the right hand overhead. So we call the front leg the one that's making the horizontal part of your shin box. Release the hips and then come back down to the mat. And then going to push back, find your goblin squat again. So you're up on the toes to start with. And we go again, reaching one arm up to the sky. And then the other. And release. And we walk out to plank. Step the right foot next to the right hand. This time I'm going to push the knee out to the side. So I'm coming up onto the outside edge of my right foot and prying the hip open, knee out to the side. And step back to plank. Step forward with the left foot, big giant step. Same again on that side, outside edge of the foot. I'm pushing the knee out to the side, just opening out the hip. And step it back to plank. Same as before, lowering down to the floor with as much control as you can. Reach the arms, reach the legs, lift into Superwoman. Get as long as possible. Or overwork the neck, gaze just in front of the mat or just forward. And then release down. Hands under shoulders, same thing, your choice which direction you want to go, but up into a shin box. Kickstand hand is the front knee hand, and then lift the hips and reach. So we were playing with angles yesterday. You can just do a side reach, which obviously hits the side. You can angle your chest slightly down towards the mat, which will hit your lower back slightly, or you can angle your chest up towards the ceiling. And it just alters where you feel the stretch. You can kind of play with all of those wherever you want to be, and then release it back down. Same thing, roll back through center, straight over to the other side. Lift the hips, reach the arm. You can play with your angles again there. Chest towards the mat, chest forward or chest up. And even twist all the way around. So it works the shoulder. And release. And back down onto the mat. This time push up onto all fours. And we're going to come into proper frogs. I say proper frogs, the ones where we go really wide through the knees. So wide with the knees, slightly wider, or just about the same with the heels. So you should be able to see my toes either side. Yeah, hands under shoulders, and then just rocking backwards and forwards. And make sure your tailbone's lifted. Yep, Andrew, you've cracked it there. Nick, I can't see yours, but I'm getting, yeah, I can, that's fine. So you don't want to be tucking under through the tail. So no rounding of the spine in this one. Good. When you're ready, come down onto the elbows. Let's continue that movement there. So with this, there's sort of various options in terms of how far forward you can go. I like to sometimes just take it all the way forward. So I take my nose down to the mat and then use my tricep muscles to push me back up. So get a little bit of an arm workout all the way down to the mat and then pushing into the forearm to bring me back up. Your choice. Make sure you get the backwards motion of this so you get into the hip mobility side of things as well. I'm going to do one more. And then add in the leg lift. So as you come forward, one leg lifts and then lowers as you go back. So forward, lift the foot, pivot on the knee, and press back. You're going to take your arms a little bit further away so you've got some more space, so that as you come forward, you can keep going. So this is my right leg. I'm lowering my right hip down towards the floor and looking over my left shoulder. So it drives you away from the leg that's coming up and over. You push back, make sure you do get the backwards part of it, and then come forward. The leg lifts or the foot lifts, and I'm trying to bring that foot right over to the floor, which drives me to look over the other shoulder. Hip on the ground. Push back. It's one more each side. Coming forward with the hip, lower into the ground, and then pushing back. One last time on the left. So the foot lifts, hip drives down into the ground, which drives me to look in the opposite direction. And then pushing back. And release out of that. Okay, so I'm going to use this as part of the mobility kind of section of this, but it's actually one of the movements I've not kind of touched on it. We've touched on it very briefly because it's not my favorite move, so I tend to avoid it, but it's about time that we kind of put it in. See what you think, So it's called ape. So we've got our beast positions. We've got beast and we've got crab, which is the other way up. So this is one of those starting positions. It's called ape and it's just a squat, right? So it's the deepest squat that you can find. So heels down, right? So deepest squat, heels down. So up until I started doing this stuff, I couldn't squat at all. So my squat position is not very comfortable, which is why you see me moving in it. So I'm quite happy for you to move about when you're in this ape position, partly because it helps to open the hips anyway, and partly because just for a lot of people, and this might not be you, but it might be if you're like me, For a lot of people, being sat in the bottom of a squat is incredibly uncomfortable after a very short space of time. Yeah. So it's not somewhere that I like to be, which is why I'm bringing it in, because if you don't like it, it's a good chance you need to do more of it. So I'm moving about in the bottom of my ape position, right? So, and again, like I said, I'm using this for the mobility part of things. While I'm waffling, we're moving. So ape is one of the starting positions. And then there's also, it's one of the movements as well. So we've got ape reach and ape open, and they kind of go together. And like I say, we've touched on them. You'll recognize it when we get there. So we're going to set ape, which is just the deepest squat that you can manage. And from there, we're going to go ape reach, which is to bring the backs of the hands together, thumbs pointing down towards the floor, and you rounding the spine. So I'm sitting into my squat, my hands are reaching, or my thumbs are reaching down towards the floor, and my shoulders around my ears. Yeah, so I'm trying to get my head between my arms. Not a happy place to be for most of us. So ape reach. And then we go open. Now, as you open, the hands turn over. So I'm palms up, pizzas on hands. I come up onto my toes, and I'm lifting the chest. Yeah, pizzas on hands. I'm reaching out to the side, not back. Chest lifted, gaze lifted up on the toes. And then you sink the heels, backs of the hands come together, and you're back to your ape reach. And then we release and we come out of that and breathe a sigh of relief that it's over. Nick just fell over onto a bum. That's what I do. I just collapse out of it backwards. Excuse me. So that's your ape reach and open. Right, we're going to do it one more time. I'm not going to have you there quite as long, but it's a useful one for mobilizing the hips anyway. Build some strength in the legs, particularly the open bit. So when you come to that open thing and you're here, the idea is that you bring the knees forward. It's almost like I'm bringing the pelvis forward. You can see that I'm bringing the knees forward so that I get to this position, and it's almost like a lift up out of it a little bit. So you'll feel the work in the legs massively. Yeah, so when we go through it again, see if you can add that little bit of a lift. Like I say, I won't keep you there very long. We'll go straight back down and into the reach. Yeah. Okay, one last time. So I'm coming to the end of my mat because we're going to take it into something else. So find your deepest ape, set ape, then ape reach. Backs of the hands, thumbs to the floor, ears between arms. So coming into open, lift the heels, turn the hands over, reach the arms to the side, and add in that little bit of a lift. She says, trying to get her balance while she's looking at you, a little bit of a lift. Sink back down, heels down, backs of the hands together for ape reach. And then we're going to come forward out of that, down onto the knees, because we're going to go straight into some form specific stretches. Right, so get rid of the mat if you want to, or depending on what you've got on the floor. So set loaded beast. We're going to do beast reach. We did these yesterday. Oh, Andrew, you weren't here yesterday. You've done it before. It'll come to you. So set loaded beast. Hands reaching out, knees wider than hips, feet about shoulder distance. When you're ready, hover the knees. We go right leg beast reach. So you're going to lift the hips, bring the right leg up towards the chest. So knee to chest, heel to butt. From there, tuck your chin to your chest line. You're trying to put your knee on your nose and your nose on your knee. Progress forward, taking the right knee to the outside of the right elbow. Push the knee into the elbow and then lift the gaze. So looking forward. To return, chin to chest, nose to knee, push back with the arms. And as you lower back down to your loaded beast, keep the right foot lifted as long as you can, which might not be very long, and that's okay. Left leg beast reach. Lift the hips, take the knee with you to the chest. Chin, excuse me, chin tucks, nose to knee. Progress forward, taking the knee to the outside of the elbow. Press the knee to the elbow and then lift the gaze. Go back, nose to knee. Hit that high point and then lower back down to your loaded beast. Let's go straight into wave unload. Hips high, heels high. Chin tucks, lead with your camel hump. So upper back round in, lower back round in. When you can't come down any further, lower the hips, squeeze in the glutes. Chest lift, chin lift. Gaze up, knees off the floor. Reverse, chin to chest. Push the floor away, round the upper back. Hit the high point. Hips high, heels high. Lower back down to loaded beast. And then release the knees. Well done. Good. Right. Okay. So this little bit of a flow, which I kind of got up this morning and went, oh, let's do a flow. So I've not actually tried it, right? Because it was like a last minute thing. So I've written it all out, but I've not actually tried it. So we're just going to play and break it down. It starts off with ape. All right. So we're going to go ape, reach, open, and then we can come down into beast and into a side kick through. So we're just going to break it down. I'm going to practice each little section, have a bit of a break, and come back to it. Right. So let's give it a bash. So wherever you want to be, set your deepest ape that you can. Like you see, I'm moving again in the bottom of my ape while I'm talking to you and waiting for you to get there. So here we go. Set ape, ape reach, thumbs to the floor, backs of the hands together, heels down. Open, heels up, arms to the side, pizzas on hands, little bit of a lift. Ape reach, sink back down, backs of the hands together, thumbs to floor. Return to ape, which is just your deepest squat, right? From there, we're going to set beast. So you're going to come forward with the hands and organize the legs to your beast position. And then we're going to go right leg side kick through. So we know all this, yeah? Right leg side kick through, right leg comes off the floor. You pivot, left heel comes down, kick the leg, pull the elbow back nice and high. Return to beast. Yeah, so that's the first part of it. We're actually, after the right side kick through, we're going to go into a full scorpion. So we're going to do that next, right? So we're going to start in beast. We're going to go right leg side kick through into a right leg full scorpion. So set beast. Knees lifted, just an inch. Right leg side kick through. Find your kick through, pulling the elbow back nice and high. And then right leg full scorpions. That right leg's just going to travel back where it came from underneath you. The hand comes down to the floor, but it keeps traveling all the way up and out to the side. We checkpoint at the top, floor away, heel high, knee bent. And then we're going to go all the way over, straighten your left leg, pivot onto the edge of the foot, keep pointing the toes to the sky as you land in your modified crab position. Yeah. You just see you both looking at me like, did I get that right? Did I get that right? I'm wondering that. Did I get that right? So actually full scorpion. So right leg side kick through to right leg full right leg full scorpion. Let's just do that again. So it's a nice mobilization anyway. So come back to beast. When you're ready, right leg side kick through. Right leg full scorpion. Up out and around. Straighten the leg, pivot onto the side of the foot. Keep the toes pointing to the ceiling. That's it. You got it. Well done. I think Andrea's frozen. Andrea, have you frozen? Oh, no, she's not. Keep going. All the way over. That's it. Brilliant. So we're in this modified crab position. Come this way so you can see. We've just landed here, which sets us up perfectly for just doing a right arm crab reach. So all we've got to do is bend the left leg in and take it up into your crab reach. And return to crab and lower back down. Perfect. Right. So let's do it again from the start, but on the other side. So we do all right there. So we're going to do left. All right. So same thing. Set hip. Best hip that you can at this moment in time. And we go hip reach. Back to the hands. Down towards the floor. Open. Heels lift, chest lifts. Arms out to the side. A little bit of a lift through the legs. Back to your hip reach. Reaching the arms forward. Thumbs down. Heels down. From there, set beast. So come forward onto the hands. Organize the feet. And we go left leg side kick through. So left leg side kick through. Elbow high, kicking the leg out. That's it. Left leg, full scorpion. So it comes back underneath, it keeps traveling all the way up and around. Straighten the leg, pivot onto the outside edge. Keep lifting the toes to the ceiling, toes to the ceiling, toes to the ceiling. Land your scorpion. Bend the right leg in so you can go straight into a left arm crab reach. Return to crab, lowering the hips, hand comes down and you're back in your crab position, or you're in a crab position, and then release. Oh. So after that, we go from that crab position, we go left leg under switch or right leg under switch, depending, but an under switch into loaded beast. So if I've just finished, let's have a look, left arm crab reach, so I'm here, it will be a right leg under switch to loaded beast. So instead of coming to beast, which would be here, we're going to go to loaded beast. So from where we are here, it's still the same under switch, but then you either walk the hands slightly away so you can sink down, or you walk the legs slightly away so you can sink down, right? So just have a play with that. So let's come to our modified crab. Like we've just finished our let's say right arm crab reach, which will make it a left leg under switch to loaded beast. So left leg under switch, find the hands slightly further away, heels to butt. You can walk the hands out if you need to, and you're in your loaded beast. Nicely done, chaps. Very good. Oh, from there, we go right leg front step through, right? So Nick and I did millions of these yesterday. So from loaded beast, right leg front step, right leg, fling it forward, lift the hand out of the way. So the elbow is pulling back, like you want to elbow somebody in the face, right? So we've got this nice long wide position. The elbow then comes in front so that you can kick your leg through. From there, we return to loaded beast. So that left leg now has to travel all the way back to that long lunge position. The hand comes down as the foot goes back, and you find your loaded beast position. Yeah. Let's just do that again on the left. So from loaded beast, left leg front step, elbow pulling back into the ribs, elbow comes forward out of the way so that you can pull your right leg through and kick. Back to loaded beast, right leg has to travel all the way under it, all the way back. Left hand comes down as left foot travels back to loaded beast. And release the knees. How are we doing? Got thumbs up from Andrea. Okay, let's do it from the top then, and we'll do both sides. If I can remember it, I've got my notes, but I really should have practiced this before we get to it. You ready? Set it. So find your deepest hip. Hip reach. Thumbs to the floor. Ears between the arms. open, heels lift, arms to the side, palms up, chest high, lift. Lower back down to ape reach, thumbs to the floor. Set beast, come forward into your beast position. Right leg side kick through. Right leg full scorpion. All the way over. Remember, pull the toes to the ceiling, which leaves you in a good position to right arm crab reach. So nice and wide through the legs, a little bit of space for you to lift into your crab and reach the arm over. Return to crab into left leg under switch to loaded beast. So left leg under switch. I'm just going to have to shift because I've got no room into loaded beast. Right leg front step. Through. Good. Return to loaded beast. And rest the knees there. Well done. A proper floor. Well, half of one. Half of what I've written. We'll see how far we get. But I don't want to, if we keep going, practicing it and breaking it down, we'll finish up only having done it on one side. So I'm keeping stopping so that we can practice it on the other side as well. So if you do it all on one side over and over again, when it comes to do the other side, your brain goes, nah, and it becomes really difficult. So we're going to start that little bit again on the other side. So the ape. And weirdly, my ape is now getting slightly easier because I keep coming back to it. So note to self, need to practice more. Right, so ape reach. Backs of the hands together, thumbs to the floor, rounding the spine. From there, open, heels lift, chest lifts, arms out to the side. You're essentially extending the spine now. Lift slightly out the knees or out the hip, out the legs. Ape reach. Set beast. Or left leg side kick through. Left leg side kick through. Elbow high, leg reaching. Left leg full scorpion. Bend it back under. Take it all the way up and around. Pivot onto the edge of the foot. Toes to the ceiling, toes to the ceiling, toes to the ceiling. Leaves you in a great position for left arm crab reach. Bend the right leg in, just the feet if you need to. Lift the hips to your 3-point bridge, and then reaching the arm overhead. Crab reach. Return to crab, which leaves us with a right leg under switch to loaded beast. So right leg under switch to loaded beast for a left leg front step through. Return to loaded beast. And rest the legs. Well done. Very good. All right, so next bit. So we've returned to loaded beast. We're going to go for a slide to left leg side kick through. So we touched on this yesterday, Nick. Yeah, very briefly towards the end. Oh, Andrew's disappeared, in which case, it's just me and you again. So that's slide to. So if I'm sliding to left leg side kick through, I know that I need my left leg off the floor. Yeah. So I'm going to slide by hopping the right foot into position. We did it yesterday. Let's see if it comes back to us. So starting in your loaded beast, we're going to slide to a left leg side kick through. So I need to be in beast with my left leg off the floor. So if I hover my knees, I'm going to come forward. I'm going to hop on my right leg and take my left leg off the floor so that I can then free that up to go left leg side kick through. From there, we're going to jump to a right leg side kick through. We've done it before. It's the same thing. The left leg bends in. You come through that little beast position, switch legs, so that you're free to then do your right leg side kick through. We go right leg jumping under switch. So same thing, right leg comes in. As you come over, you switch legs, which leaves you then able to do a left leg under switch into a right arm crab reach. And return to crab. I think let me just have a play with that. Bear with me, Nick, I'm just getting my pen. Yeah. I think I've got my left and right wrong at the end of there, but not that it matters. So let's do that again on the other side. So from our loaded beast, I'm going to slide to a right leg side kick through. So we're just doing the other side. So right leg side kick through, right leg wants to be off the floor, so you jump in with the left leg. So again, dead slow. From loaded beast, we want a right leg or slide to right leg side kick through. So I'm going to come forward with both legs. I'm going to hop to my left so that I can pivot and do a right leg side kick through. Jump to left leg side kick through. So you start that under switch, switch the legs, left leg side kick through. I'm going to jump in under switch over into a crab reach. So the leg comes in, same thing, switch the legs, continue through, which will leave you with your left arm in the air so that you can left arm crab reach. And return to crab. And that's where it finishes. You'll be delighted to hear, right? So I'm just going to change them because I've got a right arm crab reach, left arm crab reach the wrong way around. Oh, that's not bad going to say I wrote it all out of my brain. Usually I have to do it at the same time. Right, so let's see if we can do it all on one side. And it's going to be quite slow because, like I say, I've not practiced. So it's not sort of set in my brain yet. So I'll keep referring to the notes. And let's just see where we get to. Let's do it. Right, so set ape, deep ape, ape reach, thumbs to the floor, open, heels lift, chest lifts, arms to the side, lift slightly, ape reach, set beast, right leg side kick through, right leg full scorpion, travel it up and around, all the way over, land your scorpion, bend the left leg in for a right arm crab reach. Lower back down to crab. You're going to left leg under switch to loaded beast. So left leg under switch to loaded beast. Again, I'm having to shift just to give myself some room. You might need to do the same. Left leg, where are we? Right leg front step. Elbow back. Then elbow comes through so that you can kick through. Return to loaded beast. So all the way back. Slide to left leg side kick through. So when you slide, you hop the right foot forward, left leg side kick through, jump to right leg side kick through. So we come back through that beast position, hop the legs, right leg side kick through, right leg jumping under switch to left arm crab reach. So as you twist, as you come through beast, switch legs again, keep traveling all the way over, right arm is up, crab reach, return to crab, and release. How'd you get on? Not bad? Yeah, good. All right, let's try it on the other side. Oh, man. Starting to wheeze again. So, set deep ape. Ape reach. Thumbs to the floor, ears between arms. Open. Heels lift, chest lifts. Ape reach. Thumbs to the floor. set beast, left leg side kick through, left leg full scorpion. It travels under, it keeps going all the way up and around, all the way over, which leaves you in the ideal position for a left arm crab reach. Right leg under switch to loaded beast, which leaves us with left leg front step through. Return to loaded beast, all the way back. We're going to slide to a right leg side kick through. So as you come forward to beast, hop on your left leg so you can right leg side kick through. Jump to left leg side kick through. So as you come back through beast, switch the legs, continue through left leg side kick through. Left leg jumping under switch to left arm crab reach. So left leg comes in, you switch the legs, you keep going all the way over to crab, wide with the legs, leaves you with a left arm crab reach. To finish, lower all the way back down to crab and rest the arms or rest your hips. Ah, well done. Both sides all the way through. I'm pretty sure that being upside down actually helps loosen all this crap off. Right, let's, how are we doing for time? Amazing. Right, let's do some standing work. Seeing as we're here and we can. I'm going to call these sessions the pajama sessions. I think we should all come in our pajamas. Right, heads on screen. So same as we were playing with the other day, let's do some single leg deadlift. Let's go right leg as your standing leg, left leg back, hands on hips. Remember, we're keeping the hip bones pointing towards the floor as we come over. So chest and heel move together. Over you come. Right leg nice and straight. So we're working the hamstring and the glute on that right side, and then hinge back up. Same again, over we go. So moving a little bit quicker today, not as much balance stuff going on, more about getting the hamstring and the glute working. Same again, over we go. And back up, 2 more. Pivot over and return. 1 last time for 5. Lost it on the last one. And back up, switching legs. So left leg becomes a standing leg, right leg behind, chest lifted, stays lifted. Over we go. No change in your spine position. And pivot back up. 4 more. And up. 3. And up. Last 2. Oh, I'm losing it this morning. And 1 more. And back up. My word, they were rubbish on that side. Need to put more of these in. Right, let's switch sides again. So right leg becomes a standing leg. Exactly the same to start with. We're going to add in a knee bend. So chest lifted, gaze lifted. Start the movement with a straight leg. When you get to whatever point, you don't need to be all the way over. So want to make sure that your spine's still straight. Leg is reaching out behind. And we're going to bend that right leg. So you're going to bend the knee and straighten. Almost like a piston. Everything else stays the same. Now, for me and quite a lot of other people, my knee wants to curve in towards the middle. I'm trying to keep it in line with my toes as best I can and not let it curve. So in other words, I'm keeping control over it. Last one. And coming back up and release when we go to the other side. So right leg back, chest lifted, same thing. Over we go. Doesn't need to be far. Hold Make sure you've got your balance first, and then bending the knee forward and straightening back up. Bend and straighten. There'll be a tendency for the back leg to kind of start to drop towards the floor. See if you can keep the back leg lifted, which works the glute on that side. As you bending and straightening and controlling your front knee. Last one. Lift and then release out of that. Give the legs a bit of a shake. And we'll finish off with our pretzels. So coming down to the floor. Usual story. Oh, it's cold. Bend the top knee. Grab hold of the bottom ankle. Pull the leg back. And open it out to the side. So this is what I was on about yesterday. I've gone straight back to it. So I tend to have my heel lifted on my top leg and I'm kickstanding on my big toe. So it makes it easier. Yeah, it's much harder to kind of bring the knee down and the heel down. So it makes it look like I've got my knee down because I'm kickstanding on my big toe. I only noticed this yesterday. So I'm going to try and do is drop my foot down. So I'm not cheating as much. And then try and open. Same cue, tuck the tailbone as best you can. So you're not just arching the lower back. Hold and breathe. And then slowly release. And we'll do the other side. And I'm going to stay facing, or I'm going to stay, I'm not going to turn around so that I get a different angle on the camera. So same thing, leg up, ankle, bottom ankle. You pull that leg back behind you as best you can. This foot is flexed. Trying to get this top shoulder down to the floor. And same thing with my knee leg, or the knee that I'm holding on to. I'm going to flatten the foot out. So I'm on the edge, on the inside edge of my foot, rather than just being on the big toe. Same on the back leg. I don't know if you can see this. I tend to kickstand on the little toe on the back leg. And again, I've only literally just noticed that now. So I'm going to try and get the side of my foot down. Same cue, tucking the tailbone. Interesting how you only notice little cheats that you've kind of picked up over the last couple of weeks. Not noticed that before. And then slowly release out of that. Don't let your foot twang away from you. Oh, and we are done. Crawl over here and switch off. Oh, switch off the recording. Where are we?